I was this close to buying a Looney Tunes shirt last weekend. Like, the stand said it was Space Jam, but it was just Looney Tunes. But I said no. I bought a bunch of other shirts, including a Rick and Morty shirt. Yeah. Here, hold on. Yeah. So technically, I brought a shirt for the right movie because everything's in this one. Now, you can see Rick right there giving the finger. So anyway, okay, Space Jam: The New Legacy. Before I even get started, okay, I'm gonna go to Letterbox and read what I wrote, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay, I wrote. Even before I watched this movie, I saw a lot of mixed feelings slash hate for it. This did not influence my own opinion in any way, as I was hyped for it. My hype quickly turned into a headache, and slight relief, then back to a headache, then pure joy for a second, then back to a headache yet again. This one was really hard to get into, but in between headaches, there are some laughs and one truly awesome moment. Do not watch this in theaters, it isn't worth it. The one star for the one cool moment. I need time after watching this one. I need time. I didn't hate it, I swear. And I don't. I'll get into that later on. And I saw one here from my buddy Ben Grimm writes, felt like a big ad for Warner Brothers. I'm getting into that in a second. I think WB or Warner Brothers have spoken about every 15 minutes. Yeah. But there are some funny moments, and if I wasn't a cynical adult, I'd probably like this a lot. It also was pretty cool to play the spot WB property in the background of the game. I spotted some gremlins, Burton's, Burton's penguin, Jabberjaw, and a Herculoid. I did too. And a Friday Night Lights reference. I didn't see that one. Oh, and great job at the evil Sith Lord Belichick. Lots of Easter eggs for us millennials that love our nostalgia. Yeah. I'll also admit to letting out of a little cheer at the end of the game. I didn't. That's what my buddy Ben Grimm. Oh, and my friend Vanessa wrote under it. I was interested until I saw the trailer and swiftly changed my mind. Yeah. So yeah, now, I've heard all these negative reviews. I want to see some positive ones. If I can get back to it. I just want to see some positive reviews before I get into my own review. Okay, here we go. All right, positive. I want. There's so few five. I want to see some 5-star reviews. Oh wow. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's okay. 5-star reviews. Lebron, go. Best movie I've ever seen. Nah, dude. That's from it's my name Broth. Most of these I don't get because I don't speak text talk or internet talk. Oh, here's one. Uh, Cheese Sack, greatest movie of all time. Okay. Uh, here's one from Nick. What hashtag fun for the whole family? Thank you, HBO Max. Hit the dab. This unfiltered opinion was brought to you by AT&T. Warner delivered. At Warner Media, that was good. Okay, that's enough. That was good. That was good. Okay, on to my actual review. Um, yeah, so a lot of hate for this one, and some of it definitely warranted. Like I said in my letterbox review, I was so hyped with this one because since I was a kid, I looked forward to a Space Jam sequel. Okay, I followed this movie back when it was called Spy Jam, and Jackie Chan was supposed to be in it. That's how old I am. Okay, like yeah, I've been waiting for this for 25 years. Okay, and I watched this thing. Oh, spoilers by the way. I don't care. I watched this thing in the opening. At first, annoyed me, but then I was like, oh well. He did the same thing for the original with Michael Jordan's highlights and points in his life and career. He did the same with LeBron for this one. It even starts the same with like in the first one, Michael is shooting the hoops and his dad comes out and is like, he to come in the house, it's dark. Mike's like, one more. They start talking about his goals, his life, what he wanted to do. And he goes for the dunk. Cuts to that awesome song. Credits. Same thing here, kind of. Like LeBron is at a game, he's not doing well. I forget what he's doing. I want to say on his phone, but it wouldn't make any sense. But his mind was elsewhere, and he wasn't in it. And this coach slash father figure is like LeBron. What are you doing? You did get in this game, put in the work to become the best. Which we'll get to that. And yeah, so like the same kind of thing. But then he goes to LeBron's highlights his career, and they didn't mention 2003. Jordan's final year, LeBron's first year. Their teams did meet on, this is Space Jam. It, you know, I would have mentioned 2003. Whatever. Uh, so yeah, and no, I don't follow basketball anymore. So I didn't recognize most of the players in this movie aside from LeBron. Like Space Jam, the first one. Oh hell yeah, those are my dudes. This one, I couldn't tell you who was who. But yeah, and from there it goes to LeBron and his son, and his son is shooting hoops with his brother, and his son is on his phone. That's 2020 makes sense. He's more on his phone. He's more into that, but he's shooting with his brother, and his brother's like, "Dude, come on, man, let's do this." He's like, "All right, been there, my own brothers, so yeah." And then LeBron shows up. Like, what are you doing? Like, what was that? That was terrible. Blah 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 blah. LeBron said like a dick for most of the movie for no reason. Like I like how Michael Jordan, when they was playing the game, he was like, guys, just have fun. Even though like shit was on the line. This was like, no. Want to be the best, put the work in. Play by the rules. It's like if the cartoon characters who keep steadily nodding that they've done this before tell you they know what they're doing, maybe you should listen to what the fuck they gotta say. Maybe you should play like they did. They've done this before. But take LeBron most of the movie to finally get that. Whatever. Yeah, they like to steadily hint the first movie. At first, it felt like its own thing, and that's what they were saying at first. I didn't follow most of the marketing or anything for this. I wanted to be surprised and just blind, right? Yeah, I went back and I read some things after the movie, and yeah, so apparently the director was like, um, he was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be its own standalone sequel, which is what it's called, a standalone sequel. Um, not really. Like they referenced the first one a few times. They gradually more they reference it more and more until that halftime cameo. Oh my goodness. That's exactly how I would have written that, by the way. It is. Like it's how I played it in my head for 25 years, how I would do that cameo. Same thing. You know, Looney Tunes and insert basketball player getting their asses whipped. And they need something, right? It is. Right? It's like, hey, I got just what you need. And some theme music hit. In this case, it was that dun, 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 that theme song is in all the sports movies, or if you're a wrestling fan, it's the one um Ricky Dragon Steamboat used in WCW back in the 90s. It's that theme song that hits, and it starts at this person's like they're walking, and it starts with their feet, and you see these Jordans, right? These familiar old school looking Jordans, and it scrolls up, and at first I'm like, I smell something here. But then I got excited because I saw the Jordans, but I'm like, still, I smell something here. It slowly pans up, and you see the silhouette, and I'm like, shit, it's Michael B. Jordan, and it was. And I like Michael B. Jordan, I do. If this cameo was one of these, it was because right after he shows up, like, Daffy Duck says, I wanted Michael B. Jordan. No, Daffy Duck says, I wanted Michael A. Jordan. You brought me Michael B. Jordan. And then Elmer Fudd's like, did he look like his real hair? This look nothing alike. And whoever thought it was like, it's been 25 years. I thought he aged well. I'm like, I waited 25 years for this. And it gave me one of these. And a really bad joke. Wow. Wow. And what makes this worse is I read that apparently the director didn't even bother asking Jordan to come back for this one. So that's another insult to injury there. And people keep complaining. I'll be all over it, but people are complaining that this is a giant commercial. That's what the first one was. I've heard this movie called A Vanity Project. That's what the first one was. This entire franchise started with a commercial. You knew what you were signing up for. Don't act surprised, all right? It so happens that this one was way more in your face about it. And I'm reading here now. Yeah, it's like I thought. This is produced by Lebron, which would explain all of the King James. My goodness, they didn't call Jordan his royal airness or his airness or the greatest of all time anywhere near as many times as they did for LeBron in this one. I'm like, damn, dude. And the logo was all his King James logo was all over the movie. I'm like, really? You just had to? I got nothing against LeBron. He's not my favorite player. He's a good player. He ain't my favorite though. We're close. My favorite player is the actual 23 in red Michael Jordan. So yeah. I just wow. It's like, yeah, he's good, but I mean, come on. Like, my goodness, only one character says what I was thinking. They're like, yeah, LeBron's a GOAT, the greatest of all time. One character's like, I'm not so sure about that. I'm like, thank you. Somebody said something. Like, my goodness. And yes, this one is also WB. It's like kissing their own ass too. Which they did in the first one. There's a literal scene of Daffy Duck kissing his own ass with the WWE, with the Warner Brothers logo. And he even says, I'm proud of you of Warner Brothers before he kisses his own ass. So this isn't that's not new. That's not new at all. With LeBron stuff, I'm like, you know, he's trying to portray himself as the greatest, but also he's a dick the whole movie. Dude, who do I get behind? The cartoon characters? There are so many. And I enjoy seeing a lot of these other properties. I did. I really did. It was some of them were so quick I couldn't process it. Like Gremlins were in this. That's my DC side. Like most of the Batman, Robin. Oh, sure, yeah, Batman, Robin, Randy, Pennywise was there, which is interesting. Uh, there's a minor controversy because they took out Pepe Le Pew for obvious reasons, but they put in those dudes from A Clockwork Orange. No, Mark McDonald did not reprise his role. But yeah, they're in there, but Pepe Le Pew is not. People are like, that's not any kind of better. Actually, it's like, why would you do that? So there's that. Like it was weird when he kept cutting to them. I'm like, this is a children's movie, right? Not gonna start singing in the rain again, are they? No. Took me a while to listen to that song properly, the right way again after that scene. Oh, and yeah, I guess some of them were pretty funny. Some of them were jokes, like Jack Nicholson's Joker was there. No, it wasn't really him. And that's funny because he's always at basketball games, liquor games, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's always there, so that was pretty funny. And yeah, they're they weren't bad. It's just there were so many. You know, I'm glad this exists, but wow. And when they were going through the worlds, I wasn't too into that. Like Granny was in the Matrix world. Oh, by the way, this is I believe the first Looney Tunes movie um to feature someone else doing the voice of Granny because June Foray, who did the voice for decades, he's no longer with us, unfortunately. Yeah, who does Granny's voice here? Because he did a good job. Granny's voice is Candy Milo. Interesting. 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 Candy Milo. Okay. Quick segue. It's not the first time Candy Milo has replaced someone who's no longer with us. Candy Milo took over the voice of Dexter from Dexter's Lab back in the day. And Dexter was originally voiced by Kristen Cavanaugh, who's no longer with us. So, yeah. The Granny did a good job. I liked it. She's no June Foray, but I think she did it well. She did it well. I know a lot of people are saying, but Bill Blake would be not happy. I'm like, maybe. But June Foray, she'd be like, it's a good job. Good job. Rapping Porky. Loved it. Okay. I loved it. Although Robot Chicken did way better with Rapping Porky. Like, way better. But that was a parody of 8 Mile, so it had to be good some kind of way. But yeah, the effects are great, mostly, up until Tarantino makes himself grow like something out of the recent part of this movie, and that's what the effects were like. No. He just grew into a bigger him. Weak, man. When the Monstars transformed, that was like shit got destroyed, you know. He transformed, he just grows. Like, I was legit waiting for me to supposed to be like, make my algae rhythm grow. And yeah, his name is Algae Rhythm Algorithm. Because that's what the kids like. That's not going to piss off adults that know what that is. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, algorithm. That's what I want to see in my space. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I I didn't hate this movie. Okay, I didn't. It's just when Looney Tunes Back in Action, which they advertised as a sequel to Space Jam, when this one looks better, like way better in comparison, that's a problem. This would actually remember to include the actual Michael Jordan in some way. It has archive footage from the first movie, but he's in there. And the sequel gave us one of these, like, for no reason. You know, I understand they crossed over with Teen Titans Go, which is interesting that their crossovers have not been all that good, in my opinion. But you know, I haven't seen it. And like that's the one thing, one of the two things I know LeBron from as an actor. He was on there as himself with the Scooby Doo episode parody, whatever. And then I know him from Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer and John Cena movie. He was alright in that. People were sitting on his acting in this movie. He like I said, he's a dick the whole movie. He's trying to be the straight man, and he's not the straight man. Michael Jordan was a good straight man, but he was still funny, you know. Ellie was the best actor, but he was still charismatic. He held by attention as a child, you know. And now as an adult, like, you know, like LeBron, once he actually did the opposite of what Jordan did, it became more loony. He got a bit better. His loony face, he just, I don't know what that is. His loony face, like, okay, sure. Whereas Jordan, he basically single-handedly beat the Monstars for the most part. Till last week, like the Bug is like, oh yeah, you can do this too, said too. It's like, oh, thank you, Bugs, for telling me. They, you know, just, uh, oh, I swear, I don't hate the movie. Like I said, my letterbox, I don't hate this thing. I don't. Uh, like I said, need to process. I need time after watching this. The worst part of it for me was the music, because Space Jam has a perfect soundtrack. This one it is mind-numbingly awful. Okay, I do not want Scream Five to have a shit soundtrack. We have Scream TV series for that. Okay, no, these properties are known to have good soundtracks. Keep that going. The soundtrack's making a comeback thanks to Guardians of the Galaxy. So don't give me that. Oh, the whole new turn. No, this should have had a really good soundtrack, save for one '90s song and a few beautiful songs of the original Space Jam song. More than that Pirates movie, I have to say. Way more than that Pirates movie. The soundtrack was terrible. The worst part of it, because it made this movie so much longer than what it was. I was on complaining that it's about 30 minutes too long. No, the soundtrack made it feel that way. My goodness. It's like, you know how the first one is 1996? Like, all the way through it is pure 1996. That's why we love it. This one's pure 2021. And it shows. And I'm not, maybe it's my musical taste. I'm not into, the current music for the most part right now. There are very few current artists I actually like or even listen to. I just can't with this new sound. It is nails on a chalkboard to me. It was nails on a chalkboard trying to watch this movie. Like, no, no. Like, it took me out of it a lot. So I missed a lot of jokes. I'm like I've heard words like torture, disrespectful. Uh, there was a third one, but I was like, bad. Like, yeah, yeah, the music was torture, disrespectful. Oh yeah, the middle finger. Oh yeah, it was bad. Oh, it wasn't good, but I'm gonna say it was bad. Like bad. It's just much as I hate to say it, this one wasn't made for me. They tried to make me think it was, but it wasn't. I'm fully grown. This one is not. I've heard this too. Like if you 30 plus, this ain't for you. That's true. Okay, I was 30. This ain't for me. Okay, first one is. So I watched it twice after watching this because at first I was gonna be like, all right, I watched the first one. I didn't watch Looney Tunes back in action to get ready. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna watch this new one first. And that was what I told you. Because I cleansed myself watching that first one just twice. Back to I just had to just get back in my right mind, man. I really did. Ugh. Movie is a D minus. I don't know. Yeah, D minus. Fuck it. D minus. I don't hate this movie, but it was painful. It was painful. Love seeing all these characters, but it was painful. Love Looney Tunes are back, but it was painful. Oh, Zendaya did great as Lola Bunny. Yeah, way better than before. Like she has some kind of personality. When they go get her, she's in Wonder Woman world. Gal Gadot Wonder Woman world. Interesting. And Wonder Woman's voice, like she sounded familiar. I'm like, who is that? I look it up. This was Rosario Dawson, who's been Wonder Woman in the DCAU for years now. So that's pretty cool. They got that. And then Rick and Morty, they are voiced by Justin Roiland, but they just randomly show up and they are not funny, which is rare. You know. So yeah. Oh, and that one scene that I really, really like. That I really, really like. In case you haven't figured it out. The Superman scene. LeBron was onto something. He would have been a big help. When they go to Metropolis, man, and you see Superman, like you see Clark Kent and Commissioner Gordon. They like this Daffy Duck is being super daffy because there are references to old school Looney Tunes cartoons, right? Like right to the beginning, right when LeBron meets Bugs, there's like a very, very quick like montage mix up of Bugs Bunny doing all his greatest hits of the last 70 some years. Like you can't process all of them. It's so fucking quick. Like the one with Bugs is the barber and Elmer Fudd is in the chair. Like they do that one. They did later on Super Duck, which I remember Bugs Bunny being a Super Bugs Bunny, but I don't remember Super Duck. But I remember Superman himself showing up in Looney Tunes a long time ago, and it was like, hey, yeah, I'm Superman. Let me do that. Yeah, okay, and then it flies off. Yeah, I think it was George Reeves Superman. So yeah, Daffy Duck is Super Duck, and he's filming a movie where he's Super Duck, which is again from the old school Looney Tunes. Only he's creating the stuff that he has to try to fix, right? Because it's Daffy Duck, of course. It's more like Hercules from Powerpuff Girls OG. What Bruce Campbell? Remember that? Yes, he's doing that, and he's got this runaway monorail train. Monorail. What I say? See, that's a good cartoon there. Oh, it was. It's getting better. Anyway, Resident Evil Apartment. But yeah, monorail. Like just this monorail train thing. It's a runaway thing, and you see it go right past two characters. One's Commissioner Gordon. Why it's in Metropolis? I don't know. And one is Clark Kent. And he has glasses, which I have mine. And he goes like this, looks at it. I marked out so hard for that. Like, if they kept it like that, tongue in cheek, to have these characters up like that, so much better. They're just throwing everything at you. You know, that's pretty cool. The way it ended, I'm mixed on because it ends with uh the whole 1990s, early 2000s DCAU Justice League showing up that same animation style, which is cool to see that again. But is that really a job for the whole Justice League? I mean, Super could do that in his sleep at this point, you know. But yeah, and of course, there's multiple versions of all these characters too. Adam West Batman, Nicholson's Joker, Keaton's Batman. Yeah, just yeah. There's one I think is Brave and the Bold. I don't know. Oh, and the CGI, I didn't care for it. It was alright. It was okay. Like I usually went for hand drawn animation. I think those were the best parts of the movie. It was mostly hand drawn, which you don't see much anymore. That's the same. Yep. D minus. Just want to mention that. Yep. That's all. D minus. I really need to this. Maybe watch Space Jet one more time and then do really till it's back in action because I really do need time after Space Jet with New Legacy, man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.